Previously on the True Blue Challenge, I bossed the Capitan, won the Lightweight K-Car Cup, was given a prize ride that I can actually keep at home for the first time, won the Capitan race fair and square, and dominated the FF Challenge with a Honda. With that has been said, I welcome you back to the world of Gran Turismo. Everyone, please give your best welcome to our newest, most expensive addition to the family yet, the 1998 Subaru Impreza 22B STI. As is tradition with all used cars, I headed to GT Auto and replaced the expired oil inside in the Impreza with an objectively better oil from Gran Turismo. This resulted in the car's horsepower to reach 291, making it the most powerful member of the Strix family till date. Driving the most potent machine I have, I've gone to challenge fellow 4-wheel drive car enthusiasts in the 4-wheel drive challenge. The first race was set on the east section of Grand Valley. 38 points race, this will be an easy race. Wait. Why the caution icon down below blinking? Oh, that's right, the assists were still on. I forgot. Before the first corner, I've already overtaken most of my competition out. The Legacy put up the most fight, but braked too early and lost the crown before the turn. I might have taken first easier than snatching a candy from a baby, but driving with assists on after being used to driving with none of them is quite uncomfortable. I must remember to disable them for the next race onwards. Nevertheless, by the second and final lap, I've significantly gapped the others. Buying the Impreza was definitely overkill. That's an easy first place. I actually feel bad for the other racers. Next up was the Autumn League race. I remember to turn off driving assists and launch to the starting line. Now it's an 8 points race. Could probably do this in my sleep. Let's see what we have for the menu for today. A family sedan for the upper class, a tiny rally car, that owner of a Peugeot was definitely way over his head. And what is that Ram doing there? Why is it here? Who's the madman that thought a barely upgraded oversized truck could compete with sports cars? And that was me being generous. Whatever floats their boat, I guess. Starting last in a rolling start means you get to step on the gas later than everyone else, which is why they seem to be pulling away from a moment there. Not that it mattered though, as the Impreza successfully made an attack on the yellow family sedan. Definitely did not cut the corners to overtake the Peugeot. Zoomed past the big bad truck. I capitalized on the A3's mistake and climbed to P2. I honestly expected the 3000 GT to put up a much better fight, but it was too slow to contest my Impreza. As expected from a 4-wheel drive, this car is pretty stable. No! Okay, I still get a chance. Go! Go! As expected from a 4-wheel drive, this car is pretty stable, especially from a car that Subaru would make a rally car out of. The 22B handled the corners well and has an impressive launch. Truly, a proper sports car. I got to utilize the curbs to optimize my lap time, landing a personal best of 43 seconds. The gap was massive. The 3000 GT had just cleared the penultimate corner when I hit the finish line. Whoa, the Ram actually beat someone. That 205 driver really was way over his head. The next race was on the Suzuka circuit. Hold up, is that what I think it is? Guys, despite an absolute icon was on the track, this is still a 38 points race. According to the game, this would be an easy race. Let's see how much of that would be true. The blue Impreza versus the yellow Evo. This has been a long time coming. Without any wheel spin, the Impreza launched off the track. And of course, someone brought their dad's Range Rover to race sports cars, probably behind his back too. The Impreza seemed to be eager for the showdown as it blazed past the turn. I tailgated the yellow Evo and took it over fairly early. Come on, put up a fight. I need to struggle for the content. Well, looks like the yellow Evo was not interested in the fight, so we have the younger brother in its stead. It was not yellow, but it managed to run me off to the grass, putting me in a rather precarious position. The Subaru slid a little as I entered the corner from such a predicament. Lucky me, the car was stable enough to keep its wits about it. Not even a lap, and already a massive gap had been made. The yellow Evo didn't even make it a second. I watched my throttle on a series of turns and managed to complete a lap with almost no incidents. The formula is working. All I gotta do was to better my driving with it. I entered the corners, carefully maintained my throttle as the Impreza made its way around. I exceeded the final corner with astounding acceleration. On the final lap, I managed to score a sub 1 minute lap. The iconic yellow Evo had to accept the bronze medal, failing to provide an entertaining match throughout the race. Disappointing, yes, but it is what it is. The next race would be tricky. It was set on El Capitan. Honestly, I fear the track more than I do my competition at this rate. Before I knew it, I've already gained a spot on the podium. The S3 braked too much and lost a post, and the leading Audi didn't do much better. Oh? The Audi fought back? Finally! About time I got some challenge. And like its fellow Audi, it braked early. Well, at least now it's time for a relaxing drive throughout all that nature in the closed asphalt circuit. Unexpected to yours truly, the Subaru gained air. On the hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have taken a hill on 150 kilos. The Subaru gently kissed concrete, but I kept going. Around the final hairpin, I maintained throttle levels so I could remain on the inner side, near the curbs, till it was time to launch out. After all that was said and done, I returned into chill driving mode. I was too chill apparently. I forgot to brake until it was almost too late. Lucky for me, that was a curb, so my car did not lose grip by touching sand. To make up for that mistake, I hugged the hairpin as close as I could and drove off it on the first possible chance. This time, I was more careful with the hill and slowed down before the Impreza got an attempt at visiting the moon and stars. Everything went smooth so far and remained so until the finish line. I finished first, 12 whole seconds ahead from the black Audi. The last race of the 4-wheel drive challenge was hosted on Fuji Speedway. Interesting. We have a younger iteration of the Impreza, in white no less. Let's see who got a better Subaru. Just like me, the white Impreza launched impressively off the line. Too bad the traffic ahead was not so friendly. Unlike the fellow Subaru driver though, I refused to be tied down by the slow racers. I squeezed my way through the Audi and weaved to the right, attacking the Golf. Quickly, the Golf was out of first place. The Volkswagen did try to take its post back, but failed as I blocked it off. And that was pretty much it. Unless I made a grave mistake, that gap really sealed the deal. The Golf, along with the racers, seemed to have also broken through the rest. The best outcome they could hope to achieve here. The long straights was great to test my Impreza's speed. The car managed to hit 237 kilos before I had to brake for the turn. Interesting. Anyway, I kept the run smooth and finished first. Another beginner's event down. Let's see what's the loot this time. Oh, you've gotta be kidding me! Looks cool, probably is cool, but has the wrong color. Looks like a concept too, and from how there's no money to be gained from selling it, definitely a concept. Get out! Now with the Subaru's done its part in the beginner's event, time for the real reason behind the purchase of this car. The Stars of Pleiades. One win gives you 10k, winning the championship gives you 75 grand. There are 5 races. Put the 2 and 2, you'll get 125k if you win this perfectly. Armed with confidence, I threw myself into the fray. The first round was set on Tsukuba circuit. Racing me would be one fellow 2B, 2 Imprezas, a Legacy and a wagon. For whoever driving that wagon, you're pretty brave. 113 points? Finally a challenge. Been a while since I last got a 3-digit. I kept up with the competition and took the grey Impreza. The Legacy was outplayed and I soon faced my twin. I used the curbs to overtake the 2B from the inside and tried to outpower the wagon. Surprisingly, it was me who was outpowered. Looks like there was something inside all that bravado. I made quite a hasty move which sent my Impreza sliding, giving the wagon another taste of the silver medal. I braked much later on the corner and take P2. Despite the wagon's objections, I remained in my post. The black Subaru turned out to be the strongest challenger around. I chased it down, caught it up to it, and did all in my power to not let it go. While powerful on the straights, the opposing Subaru had issues around the corner, an issue I took advantage on to gain first. After the turn, it was my turn to gap my opponents. This lead would help me preserve my lead until the end of round 1. On the final lap, The black Subaru gained a second win and closed the gap, but alas, it was not enough to retake the lead. I finished first, securing the first 10 points and an extra 10 grand to my bank account. The second stage was hosted on the trial mountain. My launch was great, but so were my rivals. No powering through the grid on launch for me this time. No problem, I used the curves to slip past the wagon. Right at the tunnel's entrance, I took on both the grey Impreza and the white Legacy, gaining B3. The current holder of the silver medal was overtaken on the corner right after it. Then, it was time for a proper 2-2B showdown. Same cars in the same color. This would boil down to pure, unadulterated driving skill. The rivaling Impreza fought brilliantly, but on the hairpin, its time on the top was over. Unlike before, I did not get to create a ridiculous gap immediately. That came on the straights. Looks like this time, power was on my side. The race was divided into 3 sections. Myself, second and third, and then the rest. Looking at the condition of the race, I'd say it would be quite next to impossible for the podium cast to be changed. I then made sure that it will be also next to impossible for the silver and bronze to replace me for gold. Another win, another 10 grand. Next round was on Suzuka, 2 whole laps around the whole track. A good way to see what the Subaru was actually capable of. At the entrance of the first corner, the wagon was moved to last. I squeezed past the grey Impreza and took third as the Legacy tried to push me off to the grass. I dueled my lesser twin on the east section's corner and gave chase to the black Subaru. This time, he actually put up a decent fight by maintaining first for quite a long time. The Casio triangle was my biggest chance to scrub this powerful rival off from the top. I briefly managed to gain first, but the rivaling Impreza was too powerful to be beaten that way. First place was wrestled away by my rival, but I took it back on the turn. All I had to do then was to not mess up and defend should the black Impreza attack. Behind me apparently, the twin claimed second place, but skill issued into the sand. From that point, I'll assume the black Subaru had retaken second. Momentarily, I repeated my lesser twin's mistake, but quickly corrected myself on the asphalt. Yet upon inspection, I told wrong. On the second place was still the other 2-2B. All this time I thought I had to defend from the black Impreza, when in reality, the racer I had to defend against was none other than my twin from another mother. I still succeeded though, finished first and secured twice the points my twin has. The fourth event was held on the Deep Forest Raceway. Rolling start? Great! That means they get to go before me. I fought the wagon for 5th, initiated a brake turn which my Impreza didn't like much, but thankfully managed to be corrected before this happy little accident devolved into a full-blown spin. I tried to get to 4th as fast as I could, but this grey Impreza had learned a thing or two in blocking. Soon though, I gave it an attack it had yet to learn to block from. I noticed the gap the first and second drivers created, which served as an alarm to get things going. Right on the hairpin, the Legacy was kicked off the podium, and I strived to close the gap between me, my twin, and the black Subaru. Slowly but surely, I progressed, and despite the gap managed to be regrown for a brief moment, I managed to catch up, only to be pulled away from the wall. There's less than a lap and a half remaining. I need to stop messing about. Fortunately, the black Subaru had caught the infamous condition, skillless issueless. It might have recovered before I replaced it in second, but it was not fast enough to prevent me from getting my silver medal anyway. Yet again, it all boiled down to who could handle his 2-2B better. On the hairpin, the opposing 2-2B fell victim to the faint move, late braking, but my twin managed to outpower me on the straights. The duel for first continued. We were neck and neck until my rival had also caught the skillless issueless disease. Apparently, I also still suffer from skillless issueless, as I brake before it instead of weaving through. To make things worse, the black Impreza wanted redemption and attacked. I managed to defend, but this heated action caused an 8-pull effect, with the rivaling blue 2-2B as the ball. You cannot pull all that blame on me for that one. The black Impreza contributed in that insanity. This allowed me to gain first. Armed with experience, I strengthened my lead and kept it all the way to the finish line. That's 40 points and another 10 grand into the wallet. The ultimate round was set on Laguna Seca. I fought the wagon again for 5th. This little squabble had the wagon drifted into the sand. Should have known when to quit. Before the corkscrew, I gained a post from the grey Impreza and definitely legally took the second half of the fade downhill corner. I grabbed the inner corner to the way with the Legacy and chased down the fellow 2-2B and the black Subaru. I braked late and gained second from the twin, and like before, our fight resulted in the other 2-2B eating sand. Seems history was bound to repeat itself on this track. The black Subaru took advantage of that, however, and established a brief gap. This time, I took on the corkscrew actually legitimately and remained close to the opposing Impreza. On the last turn of the lap, I gained first, but past experiences indicated that this Impreza was not a quitter. It would have been successful in its attack had it not for the corner. I was happy with the gap I've created, too happy in fact to mess up on the final turn. I did what I can to return to asphalt and fortunately remained first in the end, securing the final win of the tournament. Five victories had been achieved. The championship had been won flawlessly. The victor gets sold the spoils, which takes the form of a Subaru Impreza touring car? Incredible! This is the first race car I've ever gotten in a run. If only it came in blue paint. Do I really have to? I want to keep it so bad, but I must honor the contract. You know what? The rules are the rules. Wait, what? 96 grand? Sold at high price. You got that right. Winning the Stars of Pleiades single-handedly doubled the amount of money I had. At this point, only the sports truck race event remained. Well, the game basically told me to get a pickup, therefore, getting a pickup, I shall. Everyone, give your biggest welcome to the largest addition to the garage, the Ford SVT F-150 Lightning. It might have over 300 horsepower, but its weight is astounding, being a pickup and all. Can this Ford fulfill its namesake? We shall see. As my opponents would all be driving pickup trucks, I figured the Lightning had already stood on an equal footing as is. I opted only to buy a set of soft sports and hold to the event.
Yo, heard you're taking on a trucker event?
Trucker event? Did you mean the sports truck race?
Yeah, that one. I'm just calling to let you know I'm racing too.
Wait, so I'll be racing you there?
Yeah. What? Got a CEO race? I just want to see how far you've gotten.
No, it's just I didn't think I'll ever get to race a CEO, much less my own contractor.
Now you do. But promise me you won't hold back for me, you hear? I want to race you for real.
You got it, sir. See you in the race.
Yes.
Hi, Locke's planning to get in a sports truck race. We'll meet on Fuji tomorrow.
He's racing?
Yeah.
But why? He rarely shows up on track days. Compared to a racer like you, he'll lose. Except...
Jack? I gotta go. I'm off to practice.
Oh, right. See you.
Take care. The first event was held in Fuji Speedway. Immediately, I launched off the grid, securing P1 just after the race had started. Wait a minute. Did I seriously forget to turn off assists? Again? Damn it! But I've pretty much won already. Might as well live with it and turn it off before the next race. Mr. Bluelocks is in the Silverado concept, I see, but it seems to struggle in getting second. Still, do not know why he decided to race me here though. Probably just out to have some fun. The Lightning didn't qualify for the event, it absolutely rained in it. The gap I've made with his truck on the straights was just massive. Huh, looks like Mr. Bluelock got second and had created a gap too. Honestly, didn't take him much for a racer, but there he was. The Silverado was that good, huh?
Better keep that pace up, or I'll take it away from you.
The last straights was up ahead. It all boiled down to whether Mr. Bluelock could overtake me through sheer power. Apparently, he couldn't, as I finished first. One down, two to go. The second race was set on Laguna Seca. I turned off assists and headed to the event. Look at how aggressive Mr. Bluelock is. He immediately had attacked his rivals. As I started last, I only got to hammer down on the offense on the corner. Looks like Mr. Bluelock had gotten into a fight with 3 other trucks. I used this to my advantage to gain a position over the SSR and later, the Silverado. I tailed the fellow Ford and tried a slingshot maneuver on the corner against it. But apparently, braking too late was also a bad move. I kindly asked the Ford to give me back my position. I used a familiar tactic to overtake the Tacoma and gained the lead before the corkscrew. It gave me the gap to secure victory. The Silverado got gapped? Not bad for the grey F-150.
I'm not letting you win, Bluelock. You forgetting this Chevy's much faster than your rinky-dink truck, son.
I attempted to take the corkscrew more elegantly this lap, but I forgot this truck does not behave like my Impreza. But still, the gap between me and the other Ford remained massive. I finished first, 9 seconds ahead of the competition. I did it. The last race was set on Seattle. What a way to end an American team tournament in an American track. I took 5th and attempted to overtake the Ford, but I have yet to find a chance. I saw a gap and I took it, squeezed through the Ford and rammed. After the corner, I challenged the concept car to a showdown of speed. Had it not for the SSR, I would have lost. I took advantage of the SSR's lack of speed and gained first. Not only that, I also gapped them almost immediately. I have to say, the truck handled way better than I thought. There was a hint of understeer looming, but it was not a major issue. Power-wise, it absolutely slayed. Ow! Gotta pay attention to the track. Where was I? Right. As far as I'm concerned, the F-150 is great to drive. It really lived up to its namesake. Would you look at that? The Silverado is absolutely wild out there, gapping the rest of the competition by a huge margin. But it was too late to play catch up with me. Before he could finish turning, I've already won. That's it. The sports truck race is done. And the final prize ride from the entirety of the beginner's event is... Wait. Isn't this Mr. Bluelock's car?
Yes, it is. Normally I'd give it away to the winner, but you're under my contract.
So, no prize cars for me?
Tough luck, Speedy. The Silverado's coming home with me.
Huh. That happened. The third and final victory in the sports truck race signified the end of beginners events for this run. I started this journey with a single MR2 which had traveled through cities, possibly an island prior, and now I sit among 8 cars. Among them is the 22B, the car I used to win the Stars of Pleiades and the 4-wheel drive challenge, a grand total of 132,500 credits. That's roughly almost half the sum of all the prize money that I've ever earned so far. Though, not all of them were sound financial decisions. The Ford F-150 Lightning, for example, was brought in to purely progress in a challenge in the form of winning the sports truck race. Financially, I only had gotten to bring 3,600 credits in with the truck after spending 35 grand on the car alone, and another 6.8 grand for the soft sports, a price I had to pay to progress and win the challenge. Despite the financial damage I have taken from the trucking event, I still was swimming in cash. So, I wanted to splurge. I went to the Honda dealership. I saw a NSXR. I noticed the blue colored option, and I took it. Everyone, give your greatest welcome to the newest addition to the family as we celebrate the completion of beginners events, the 2002 Honda NSXR. The original NSX was made to compete with the likes of Ferrari and was the first time ever Honda incorporated VTEC into a 6-cylinder engine. And this NSXR? This is the improved, serious, no-nonsense version of that one. If there's a car that could get us major progress through the professional events, it's this one.
That did not go quite as planned, boss. That guy in the gray Ford, I swear I've seen him somewhere. You're referring to Jack Knight Wells, Jackie? No wonder he's so hell-bent on screwing me over. What do we do, sir? What we always do to ghosts. Understood.